Super Bowl is the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. David has his ups and downs, good days and bad days, still developing, still learning. But always he is helped by a core of fine receivers who are led by that man, number 82, Duriel Harris. So Miami is solid on offense, both in the passing game and the running game, too. The Miami defense has become a legend in the National Football League. It is spearheaded by A.J. Dewey, the great linebacker. Dewey, wearing number 77, has everything: speed, range, pursuit, and tenacity. He can undo an offense single-handedly. The Los Angeles Raiders, on the other side of the coin, are led by Marcus Allen, the former Trophy winner from USC. This young man is a truly great all-purpose back, running, catching, blocking too if he has to, for that matter, and sometimes you have to gang tackle him to get him down. On defense, it's spearheaded by a man who's been playing football for 26 years, number 83, Ted Hendricks. Still great at getting to the passer, forcing the fumble, just as great at blocking the Ted Hendricks goes on forever. Tonight, Dolphins against the Raiders.
Gridlock, and so I'm sure a few of the fans will be arriving late. As you can see, Miami on your right is set to kick off. Dropping deep will be Greg Pruitt and Clee Montgomery. Greg Pruitt, former Cleveland Brown, who came to the Raiders a year ago, used to do a lot of punt return and kickoff return duties with the Cleveland Browns. And they resurrected that a year ago, and he's performed very well. Dolphins set to get the proceedings underway. The 2-0 Dolphins against the 2-0 Raiders in this young 1983 NFL season. Von Schaman drills it deep to Clee Montgomery, and wisely Greg Pruitt moves across and tells young Clee Montgomery to stay there. And here comes the quarterback, Jim Plunkett, who's had more comebacks than Billy Martin coming out onto the field. He leads the Raider offense, an offense that, while it has not been explosive in the first two games, is noted for its explosiveness. They'll take the risk. They like to go with the bomb, and the man that can hang it up is Jim Plunkett. The deep man on the outside, of course, is Cliff Branch, and one of the great ones to come into this game, who performed so admirably for the Southern California Trojans right in this very same field as there, Marcus Allen, working behind this line. And a good one is the Raiders have always felt that they wanted size in their offensive line, and they have it. They have a little weak spot on the right side perhaps tonight. Mickey Marvin, a fine right guard, is not expected to play. In his place, it'll be Steve Sylvester, the veteran from Notre Dame, who plays all the positions along the line. Jim Plunkett brings up the Raiders' first offensive play of the night from the 20-yard line. Kenny King is in there with Marcus Allen, and on 1st and 10, Plunkett goes back and has to dump it off, and he goes to Kenny King. King to tackle him down the sideline over the 25-yard line to the 26-yard line, taken out of bounds by Mark Brown. That's the front three. Now the Miami loss of Larry Gordon in the offseason from a heart attack. And Ernie Roan, the inside linebacker on the right side, is not expected to go tonight. Mark Brown, a rookie to do, is replacing him. 2nd down and 4, Marcus Allen, left side up close to a 1st down near the 30-yard line. The former Heisman Trophy Award winner.
Yeah, if you notice Marcus on the first play, he got a real nice comeback block for Kenny King. He hit Bob Baumhauer, and Bob had to get up a little slow, and I don't think they expected Marcus to be the guy to be the physical one for him today. But the Oakland Raiders' basic game plan in the past against the Miami Dolphins is to try to beat them up. They found in the past that they can get physical with them and take advantage of it later on in the game.
Less than a yard to go for the 1st down for the Raiders. King and Allen, movement a little bit on the part of Allen. Surge might have got the 1st down. It will be dependent upon where they mark it. And already Ray Guy is coming back out onto the field. That was Brown, the 9th round draft pick, who's filling in at the right side for the Miami Dolphins. And now Ray Guy takes his trips. The punting unit for the Raiders back off the field is Marcus Allen. Over the top got the 1st down. And you speak of Marcus Allen, it's kind of interesting. Last year he led the NFL in scoring. And that was the first time a non-kicker had led the NFL in scoring since the man in our booth did it back in 1975, O.J. Simpson. And he was the first rookie to do it since Gale Sayers did it back in '65. Just a remarkable athlete, a good receiver, good runner. Number 32, Marcus Allen, a former high school quarterback, so he will throw the ball. on first down and 10. Plunkett will put it up on top. Man wide open is Barnwell, the speedy outside receiver, out over the 40-yard line to the 43. Wide open back there. Great speed, Howard, they have on the outside, and those four deep men that they've burned with Branch and Muhammad and Barnwell and Williams.
They really do have that speed, and tonight viewers will get to see a guy named Dokie Williams, a fine long jumper who is developing into a class act. Meanwhile, there's Barnwell. He's come along very well. Remember the night he took the big bomb from Mark Wilson? Wilson's first throw, Barnwell's first score.
They can fly on the outside. This is Allen. He didn't like what was happening inside. He breaks it off to the outside. Pursued there by Charlie Bowser at the right outside linebacker position, but Allen was able to get a couple. Give him 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
You know, it's going to be hard to establish a good running game.
Bill Arnsparger under Don Shula has done a great job with them. They're very disciplined. They go where they're supposed to go, and they rarely make mistakes. Very difficult to beat. As we watch Marcus Allen again, who is the workhorse thus far. Very warm night, very humid, temperature about 85, 87. As Allen gets over midfield, short of the first down by about 3, and they'll mark it near the 49-yard line.
Somehow he got about 5 yards out of that, which is the way he runs. He gets more yardage than you think he's getting. Kind of slithers.
Yeah, he's a lot stronger than he appears, and he has excellent.
3rd down and 3 now for the Raiders. Barnwell split to the right. That's Cliff Branch, the speedy veteran, up at the top of the screen. Plunkett wanted Branch, had to settle for the tight end, Todd Christensen, who has another Raider first down near the 40-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. Bob Brzezinski in there on the coverage.
Interesting thing about Plunkett, Juice, he's generally speaking a maligned quarterback because he can look terrible. But the Raiders have a fixed policy. They're not even concerned with percentage of receptions. Plunkett is a big play man, and he's proved out in that regard. And somehow he's a winner. It's all that matters.
You're right, Howard.
Read the defense well. Branch double covered. He knew Christensen could not be, and he came back to Christensen for the first down. Here's Allen. Slithery move to the inside, and once again it's going to be Allen for about 5. Down close to the 35-yard line again. Brzezinski on the stop.
As I said earlier, you know, the Oakland Raiders, they don't try to do anything fancy against the L.A. Raiders.
That's one.
Yeah, that's one. We haven't been up front.
Drive of about 5 minutes thus far for the Raiders up to the opening kickoff. Fred Hawkins 27 setback as the ball goes once again to Allen. And once again, Allen produces. And it looks like another first down inside the 30-yard line, or very close to it.
You called him a workhorse, and he certainly is. A most durable athlete. There's Tom Flores, a most durable man. A man who never has been properly publicized. As you look at Allen there, 20 yards and 6 rushes so far. Flores, a man who conquered tuberculosis. Never made a big fuss about it. Quality guy. Much better coach than he's given credit for being, because he works for Davis, who gets the publicity. Get this in quickly, Frank. Juice said to Flores, "You're giving the ball to Marcus enough?" And Marcus said, Flores said, "Did Marcus ask you to ask me that?"
That's Hawkins over the left side. He'll have a Raider first down, hurdling over Big Charlie Hanna and Bruce Davis on the left side. And the Raiders now have run off over 5-6 minutes, or close to 6 minutes here in the first quarter. Frank Hawkins out of the University of Nevada, Reno 3 years ago, came up as a bit of a surprise as a 10th round draft pick a couple of years ago. Shouldn't have been, because they gained over 5,000 yards in his career. They thought he was too short, thought he was too slow, and he's been quite a producer for the Raiders. That's number 27, Frank Hawkins. 12th play of this drive near the 28-yard line of the Dolphins. Quick toss to Allen. He turns it so quickly. Flag is down as Allen is down near the 21, pops it up. The Dolphins are saying they've got it, and they do have it. Mark Brown made the hit. There was a flag down, and it is going to work against the Raiders, so Miami's going to have the football. 15-second drive by the Raiders. The Dolphins now at their own 19-yard line. The quarterback, of course, David Woodley, up looking it over. That's Nat Moore, the veteran wide receiver, in motion. Under Franklin, Bulls ahead for about 3 yards, but it'll be 2nd down and 7. Let's take a look at this offensive unit. David Roy Foster, of course, one draft pick by Miami a year ago, played his collegiate football right here in the Coliseum. Second down and 7. Mark close to the 23-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. Franklin breaks back inside, looks for the first down marker, gets up very close to it, perhaps a little short. Will meet the defensive unit of the Oakland Raiders, or excuse me, that's one for me, the Los Angeles Raiders. Three-man front, of course, and it'll change considerably. We'll see a lot of Greg Townsend, a rookie out of Texas Christian, and a rookie from Rutgers named Pickell. The linebackers, what can you say about Ted Hendricks? 14 years he's played, now in his 15th, and has never missed a game because of an injury. The cornerback, Lester Hayes, a great one, has a sore ankle tonight, but he's out there in the lineup. It's third down and 2 as Franklin moves up close to the 27-yard line.
At every level, Hendricks has played for 26 years. Only time he ever missed a game was once in his sophomore year in high school. Incredible physical specimen.
And he's not in the twilight either. He is still getting it done and done well. Nat Moore motions right. Franklin, the pursuit will collect Franklin. Moving up there was Van McElroy.
But the guy that made that play work for him, I mean, stopped rather for him for the Raiders, was Rod Martin. I think he's been a little under-publicized with this Raiders defense. He's been just voted the defensive captain for the team, and he did an excellent job.
At this point in time, he is, in fact, most versatile and most effective of all the linebackers on the team, including the great Hendricks.
Greg Pruitt has dropped back close to his 27-yard line. That's out of respect for this man, the rookie out of Iowa, Reggie Roby. He gets his foot in, and he's a big man. He can put it out of the Coliseum, practically. Great kicker. Slow in getting it off. Doesn't turn it over. Doesn't spiral it. Short kick. Fair catch called for and made by Greg Pruitt up at the 38-yard line. And Jim Plunkett will rally the troops and take them back for their second offensive set. We have 7:46 in the first quarter and no score from Los Angeles.
And Al Davis have maximum respect for each other as football men.
Raiders, second possession, first down at their own 38-yard line. Plunkett rolling out right, looking for a receiver. His deep is Barnwell, and Barnwell had moved behind Brzezinski in front of William Judson. He was wide open, first down. Raiders at the 42-yard line of Miami. A 21-yard pickup, and again, a good move by Barnwell to work into that open area.
Yeah, well, what Barnwell is doing, you know, the Oakland receivers are probably the fastest in the league. Miami's defensive, Miami's defensive philosophy is not to give them a deep one, so they're just giving them a cushion right now, and Barnwell is just running a 17-yard out, 17-yard in, and he's wide open.
Working against William Judson, a back safety a year ago until Don McNeil was hurt. First down and 10. Plunkett looking deep for the corner. Cliff Branch was there. Cliff Branch working against Gerald Small, almost came back to get it.
Cliff Branch did what a great veteran receiver will do. He looked at the ball and he came back on it.
12 years for Branch. 1 out of every 7 passes he catches has been for a touchdown. He still has the speed. We have a second down and 10. Inside the 42-yard line, Plunkett back again, scrambling. And Plunkett down to the 35-yard line where he's pounded there by Kim Bokamper. Speaking of a great veteran talent, Johnny Mathis was here to do the national anthem honors. This man just rolls on and on.
He sure does. Remember when he did Help Me Make It Through the Night?
He was a fine high jumper, long jumper from Washington High School.
He was Bill Russell's guest with us at the Munich Olympics. Remember, Frank?
Had a
great time during the games.
Third down and 4.
Until tragedy struck us all down.
Raiders inside the 35-yard line. Marcus Allen reads it so quickly. He saw it was closed inside, broke it to the outside, gets the first down in the arms of William Judson.
Well, thus far, both teams' game plans have been working. The Raiders said they were going to come out here. They knew they outweighed the Dolphins, and they were just going to try to wear them down. What they're doing now is running basic drive plays on them and let Marcus pick their hold. And in the first drive, they moved the ball right down the field. And the Raiders, the Dolphins' philosophy, let them have a short one, will take advantage when they made a mistake, and they did. And the game is going according to plan.
Allen carries, has picked up his number, 32 yards. From the 31-yard line, Allen once again finding running room over the right side behind the block of Steve Sylvester and Henry Lawrence.
They're really moving out that Miami defensive line in the very manner Frank touched on earlier. Raider teams habitually do not have pulling running guards. You don't.
And they're big ones too. They all go around 270. Allen got 4 yards, second down and 6. Kenny breaks it back, and he'll have another first down inside the 20-yard line near the 18.
Just as we said, Frank.
And they're just blowing out the front three of the defensive line of Miami. Let's take a look at it again. Just surging ahead.
It's a basic play. They hand it to the fullback and tell him to pick whatever hole is open. You see him cut back. They're blowing him off the line of scrimmage. And what's going to happen is those two Blackwood brothers are playing safety. Both Glenn and Lyle are going to have to come up to help stop those runs. And that's when that Oakland Raider big play offense come to be.
First down and 10. The Raiders on another drive. Kenny King, left side. And King this time held to a couple of yards as he gets close to the 16-yard line. It'll be second down and 8.
Big Ted Hendricks. You look great, guy.
A little gray in his hair there, huh?
Not getting any older. You know, the man played quarterback in high school and grade school, Frank.
I think he can play anything he wanted to play.
Yeah, I've been out of the game almost 4 years now, and I played against Ted on this very field. He was the Mad Stork from Miami.
And he was an old man then. Second down and 8. At the 16-yard line. There is no score. 3:39 and the clock is moving in the first quarter. Plunkett either missed the handoff to King and reacted quickly to get it to Allen, or that was a set play. I'd rather think that he missed the handoff.
It looked that way.
Hauser made the stop. It'll bring up a third down and considerable yardage for the first down of 4 yards. It'll put Plunkett into the passing situation.
Yeah, I think Plunkett had a little problem turning around there. It looked like he expected to run the other way, and he just didn't get turned around and get the handoff off.
But still, they gained yardage.
At the 13-yard line, Plunkett now in the pass situation. He puts Barnwell out to the left, as well as Cliff Branch. They're up there. Branch is in the slot. Barnwell up in the TV screen. Plunkett, a lot of time trying to get to Christensen. Will have pass interference, I do believe, as Glenn Blackwood was in a shoving, pushing contest with Todd Christensen on the sideline.
I'll tell you, they got Christensen. Yep, you're right, Frank. They got Christensen virtually for nothing. And he's become one of the stick-out tight ends in the league. Another big play man.
This was just immediately after the foul was committed, I do believe. Flag is just flying there, as you saw. Blackwood got himself positioned in front of Christensen, and then...
Well, as you know, Todd Christensen was a running back up
on a famous streak of last-minute victories, trailing Miami with less than a half a minute to go in the 74 playoff. Through a sea of defending Dolphins, Stabler somehow found a lone Raider and a winning touchdown and poured more fuel on the growing Raider legend.
The clock is now functioning once again. 2:55 remaining in the first quarter. The Raiders first down, goal to go, 3-yard line, Miami. No score here in the first quarter. Hawkins over the right side behind Dalby, and Sylvester into the end zone, and this time the Raiders drive pays off. Remaining in the first quarter, the Raiders first down, goal to go, 3-yard line of Miami. No score here in the first quarter. Hawkins over the right side behind Dalby, and Sylvester into the end zone, and this time the Raiders drive pays off. It began at the 38-yard line on a poor kick from Roby. Fair caught by Pruitt, and the Raiders using Allen most of the way, and then collecting the pass interference penalty at the 3-yard line took it in. We'll have Chris now for the conversion.
This certainly isn't a gimme. Chris Barr has been having a lot of trouble kicking the ball. He missed a couple of field goals last week that he should have had easily.
He's got the thrill back in the conversion for them. Well, it got through the uprights in a peculiar way. And there's the man who put it in the end zone. That's Frank Hawkins, a third-year man out of Nevada at Reno. We'll be back in just a moment. 98 yards just before that. Chris Barr to kick off, and Walker awaits. Barr hangs it high. Walker, decision time? No, he'll stay in the end zone. And Miami will have their second possession. It'll be out of their 20-yard line following the touchback. The ball played there, O.J. It's seen many a great football game, both UCLA, SC, the Rams, the LA Dons over the years. It's 30, built in 1932. Now the Dolphins, their second possession. Nathan struggles for a couple. Defensively, Howie Long was there.
Well, this certainly isn't unusual. As I said, the LA Raiders, that's four, Juice. The LA Raiders, they try to intimidate people. That's the way they play ball. As I said earlier, they felt that they historically have been able to handle the Miami Dolphins. They've beat them up in the past. They felt they've gotten physical with them, and it's paid off later on in the football game. And I really had expected to see a few aggressive penalties on the Raiders' part. Roughing the passer, or, unnecessary roughness.
We got 4 Oaklands out already. We're in the first quarter. Second down and 8. Woody Bennett is in there for Franklin as Whitley is back. He has the time. The flag is down. We'll get a holding call, I think. Harry Laxo over the right side. There is the holding call, and it's going to work against the Dolphins. Whitley out of the shotgun. That means that Dwight Stevenson will move over to guard, facing Kutzenberg, and Mark Jennard comes in to do the snapping for the Dolphins. Whitley, that is offensive line, pushed right back into him as we watch Duriel Harris come down out of the 22-yard line, where it'll be second down and about 8.
Interesting to see Harris back in the lineup. He was beset by personal problems, which do not tastefully warrant description on the air, and jumped the team, but only briefly, endured a fine, and is back. And one thing about him, problem or no, this is a great receiver.
Personal problems, but he missed a couple of, a couple of meetings, and have not. I think Don Shula lost Jimmy Cefalo and Tommy Vigorito for the season. There might have been further action against George Harris. This is third down, not second down. Woodley puts it up for Harris, and Harris comes down, makes the reception. He's in the arm of brother Mark Clayton. That's that rookie from Louisville we watched in Washington in an exhibition game. He was in the arms of Ted Watts, and he did not have to come down in bounds if he didn't, because Watts was wrestling him out of bounds.
We spotted Clayton in that preseason game that Frank mentioned when Miami clobbered Washington 38-7. This kid from Louisville is a comer. Again, followed the football, underthrown, came back on it. And a young one.
Well, you see a little problem that Ted Watts has been having. He's been getting beat often when he had the guy covered. He had the guy covered pretty well, but he doesn't have good instinct for the ball. He doesn't watch the ball by flight. He doesn't read the receiver well enough to know when the ball is there.
That'll come. He's relatively young, Ted Watts, at the right corner for the Raiders. First down, 47-yard line of the Raiders. Matt Moore in motion. Follows Ed Newman, who gave him a good block. This brings him for about 6 yards.
What's interesting
for the season, both with knee injuries. Matt Moore out of the doghouse, if you will. He had 3 fine receptions last week. Key reception for 42 yards. Very happy to screen. Former All-Pro who haven't seen much action the past couple of years. Franklin surges on the right side, looking for a first down yardage, and he'll be perhaps a yard short. Third down, less than 1. The ball near the 30-yard line of the Raiders. The Raiders on top, 7-0. Tony Nathan gets it easy to the 35-yard line. Tony Nathan, very versatile back, a good receiver coming out of the backfield. Surprising with Franklin in there to get the call on the short yardage, but he did.
Got a tender hamstring. May have
Franklin a little more, and they found out they had one of the finer fullbacks in the game.
David Woodley, fourth-year man from LSU, looks it over. Hendricks. He will not maybe get credit for the sack, but he was the reason for the sack. He went high in the air. Woodley had no chance to deliver the ball. And the loss will be back to the 42-yard line.
He is still so great at the tease of the program. We showed him, and I said he is still great at getting to the passer, forcing the fumble, though not called such here. Still great at blocking the pass. The only place he's lost it a little bit because of the years past is dropping back against the pass.
Dan Johnson, second-year tight end from Iowa State for Miami, was supposed to block Hendricks. He got a lesson. He didn't even touch him. We'll be back. Sending a lot of clouds into the area. They're anticipating rains later on this evening and probably tomorrow. But it's a warm, humid night. The Dolphins have a second down and 18. Flags are everywhere. Harris between two Raider defenders, but flags are down back where the offensive line was trying to protect Woodley, and you saw the preliminary call holding once again. Raiders come at you in so many different ways. They change personnel. They move Ted Hendricks all over the line. They say he comes from about 7 or 8 different positions.
I'm sure that holding penalty is going to go against a Greg Townsend, number 93. You know, when the Raiders get a team in a passing situation, they bring in 2 rookies, number 71, Bill Pickell, and Greg Townsend, number 93. And these guys, they think, are going to be their linemen.
Holding during the pass, number 61 of the offense, still second down.
Roy Foster now has 2 holds.
Said he's going to have a long night. Watch it right there in the middle of the screen.
These rookies are excellent. They think they're going to be their linemen of the future. And when they get into a situation where they don't have to worry about the run, they're probably as tough as any team in football right now.
There's now with the 4 down lineman. That means Townsend is in there, the rookie from Texas Christian, and the rookie from Rutgers, Bill Pickell. Second down and a whole bundle for David Whitley. He's under pressure again, gets it off underneath this time. And Nat Moore works his way inside the 40-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and about 13 for David Whitley.
Pickell, a young man from Rutgers, is a special delight of Tom Flores. He talked about him with unremitting praise at the production meeting today. They're the first quarter stats. You see the domination in first downs and right down the line for the Raiders. They did have an early turnover. Miami couldn't capitalize, couldn't even follow up with a first down. Had to kick back, and then the Raiders marched downfield again and capitalized.
Woodley once again in the passing situation. 3rd down, long 13. The ball just inside the 39-yard line. Miami down 7-0. Both teams 2-0 on the season. Again, pressure. The offensive line back in Woodley's face, but he's agile, moves around, looks for a receiver, picked off. It was Jim Davis, a nickelback, a 5th-round draft pick out of Southern University, makes the turnover.
Woodley tipped that play with his eyes. Davis read it all the way and was just waiting for him to throw it.
Yeah, he saw him trying to tell Nat Moore to scramble a little bit. He wanted Nat Moore to go to the middle of the field, and Davis watched him all the way, and Davis went to the middle of the field and makes the interception. Nat Moore being the all-pro, the former pro he's been, made the tackle. And
Howie Long chasing Woodley out of the pocket, and the Raiders have the ball back at their own 36-yard line. San Diego pick one off and go 52 yards. Touchdown a year ago. Very opportunistic young man out of Southern University, and the Raiders have a first down and 10 at their 36-yard line. They have a 7-0 lead. Early moments of the second quarter here in Los Angeles. Plunkett will go down, and he out of the ball, and they're going to say the whistle had blown as A.J. Dewey rained on Plunkett. He flipped the lateral to Kenny King with the whistle had blown, and the loss will be back inside the 30-yard line.
Take a look at it from the end zone. Look at a stun on, and I think Dewey beat Henry Lawrence. Kenny King didn't get over there to help out.
Well, Jim shouldn't have thrown that ball. He should know better than that. And that was what we saw Dewey doing in the very ease of our program.
28-yard line for the Raiders. Credit Dewey with the sack. Second down and 18. Marcus Allen. Raiders going back to what was working for them, and Allen gets up close to the original line of scrimmage, where it'll be 3rd down and 11. I want to remind you, coming up Saturday versus Florida A&M, check your local listings for the game in your area. 3rd down and about 11. Raiders just at their own 35-yard line. Plunkett back again, feeling pressure again. And down goes Plunkett, and he could get called for throwing that one away, but they do not throw the flag. We had a black-shirted Raider apparently in his sights, And that'll bring up fourth down. Goes through the punting unit, and Ray Guy, who has been troubled the past couple of years with a bad back, but he is seemingly all right now. He'll do the punting, and he's done it so well ever since he was a first-round pick in '73. Mark Clayton is deep.
What a good augury in that series for the Dolphins. Twice they got to Jim Plunkett.
And they did it with the blitz. Ray Guy, first-round pick in '73 out of southern Mississippi. Fell off last year, but they say he's back. This time it's not a good kick. And this is Clayton. And Clayton, fine run back, gets up close to the 40-yard line. Jack Spyrick made the stop for the Raiders, but it'll be first down and 10. Good field position for Miami. They trail by 7. 12:05 remaining in the first half. Rookie first-round draft pick a couple of years ago in 1981, went up to Canada. Played up there a couple of years. He's in there now, number 20, along with Andre Franklin. This is Overstreet. Left side, good defensive play. Gain of 1. It'll be second down and 9. Rod Martin was there.
I guess most of you know, even in this early going this year, about Overstreet, a #1 draft choice by the Dolphins, who elected to go to Canada. Proved a fumbler up there. The problem seems to persist in the National Football League for him. And frankly, while Shula is sticking with him, he's been a disappointment to Don thus far.
Well, it seems to be a rash of it this year. Overstreet was a fumbler. He also led the league in rushing. Second and 9. Woodley under a lot of pressure, and he gets it out to Woody Bennett.
Actually, that ball was deflected. Very fortunate.
But at least they're doing something that they're going to have to do. They aren't going to be able to throw the bomb against the Raiders, and I don't think they're going to be able to run consistently against them, and they're going to have to try to hit their backs coming out of the backfield on intermediate pass routes.
That was Bob Nelson, who came in on Woodley, and now you'll see Millen, big lineman, basically, is what he was at Penn State. A little late getting back to Woody Bennett, but Millen, I'll tell you, is one of the finest linebackers in football today against the run.
Yeah, so is Bob Nelson. That's why they're going to have to take advantage of the size and lack of mobility of the Raiders' 2 backers and throw to their backs.
Third down and 3. Play action by Woodley, trying to get it on his own. He will not do so.
He went the wrong way. If you're going to run that play, don't run it against Ted Hendricks.
Exactly so.
Reaches out those long arms that extend from a 6'7" frame, and Woodley had no chance. It'll be fourth down, Miami.
They build up linebackers year in and year out, and certainly we've seen 2 great young ones in the past 2 years come up in Lawrence.
Greg Pruitt, a lot of respect, back at the 10-yard line. This time, Kobe really puts it up. Pruitt didn't even give it a second thought. He called for the fair catch while the ball was still rising at the 13-yard line, and that's where the Raiders will begin their possession with 10:03 remaining in the first half. On.
She's going through a lot, you know.
Boy, I'll tell you, it's tough to be the wife of a quarterback, isn't it?
Got to be proud of him now. This preseason, he really took a lot of heat here in L.A.
Jerry Plunkett. Watch the ups and downs that go with the game of pro football. Marcus Allen over the right side gets about 3 yards out over the 15-yard line.
You saw something happen there. I saw they've had a couple of real problems on handoffs, and that time Plunkett was a little late getting there. As you can see, L.A. a little smoggy there, I think. Frank, just the way you remembered it, huh?
Cut it with a knife.
They call it fog out here.
There's the good old campus of USC right in your lower part of your screen, coming in the picture right before we get to the Coliseum.
By the way, Baumhauer closed that hole quickly and effectively on that last rush.
Second down and 3. Kenny King. And down goes Kenny King. Gain of a yard and a half, and the Dolphins are toughening up. Kim Bocamper, the former all-pro linebacker who now works as a defensive end, but still operates in many occasions as a linebacker.
They certainly are toughening up.
And with Bill Arnsberg on the sideline, you knew that they'd make some adjustments. Whatever they have to do, they do little things. You don't see them from up here, but they're effective down on the field. Take it from one who's lost to the Dolphins as much as I have.
Third down, passing situation for Plunkett, or it should be. Pressure again on Plunkett, has to roll out. Wide open. Christensen, the tight end. And Christensen, who worked himself into an open area when he saw Plunkett in trouble, gets the Raider first down up at the 45-yard line.
And that's why Plunkett, despite days when he looks so poor to so many people, is really so good.
He sees back. Here comes A.J. Dewey. Runs him out of the pocket. You know, Plunkett he's got a lot of criticism. They say he can't run, but he's really a heck of an athlete. He runs 5 miles a day, 3 days after practice, and he was a 4-time high school wrestling champ.
Yet that play did show the tenacity and pursuit of A.J. Dewey, and Jim felt him there.
First down and 10, 45-yard line. Hawkins in motion. This is Marcus Allen. Allen pecking and looking along the line of scrimmage. He'll get a couple. It'll be second down and 8.
Well, you saw the problem that the Raiders have. They're not geared to run outside. Marcus really ran into one of his guards just then. He was just a little slow getting out there, and they're just not a good outside running football team. They picked up Don Hasselback, who I always felt when he was with New England was an excellent tight end for blocking. He blocks well on the outside, so I think once they activate him and get him in the game, he may assist them of getting outside a little better than they do now.
He is activated. We may see him tonight. In the meantime, L.B. Jordan will be activated tomorrow.
47-yard line, first down and 10, or rather second down and 8, and Plunkett back under pressure again, and this time he will go down, and it's Doug Betters, and Doug Betters gets his 6th sack, I guess, of the season. He's in the NFL.
Yeah, he's become amazing.
We're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations along the line to identify themselves.
DCTV, New York.
Betters gets the sack. Back close to the 50-yard line, where it'll be third down now and 16 for Jim Plunkett. The Raiders moved up and down the field almost at will in the first quarter, and the first going here in the second quarter. The Dolphins have begun to toughen. The Raiders on top, 7-0. Hawkins going in from 3 yards out. Plunkett again, pressure. And they blow the whistle dead once again as Plunkett dumps it off to Hawkins, but the will stand back inside the 35-yard line. This time it was Bob Baumauer. And the length of time the Raiders' offensive line was on the field, I think in the heat and the humidity of the evening is beginning to tell on them a little bit. Dolphins, of course, as we look at Mark Clayton, the rookie from Louisville, the Dolphins train in exactly this kind of weather down in Miami. Hot and humid.
Raiders may rue the fact that they couldn't get more points on the board while dominating the game. Miami's coming along.
They had a 6-minute and 15-second drive, and they got nothing from it. Clayton. And Clayton is taken close to the 20-yard line. Otis McKinney and the Raiders are so good on their special teams. So Miami will begin at their own 20-yard line, following a 45-yard punt from Ray Guy, and we'll be back in just a moment. There's been a award at this very same field where we're watching the Dolphins against the Raiders tonight. One of these teams will not be undefeated in all probability when the night is over. The winner will join the Dallas Cowboys as the only other undefeated team after 3 weeks of NFL play in '83. On first and 10, Overstreet, left side, and finds a big opening. High steps it through and gets the first out of the 30-yard line. McElroy made the stop for the Raiders.
Let me tell you, Overstreet almost broke that.
Well, that's why they brought him. They need that breakaway runner. Tony Nathan is a good back. He does a lot of good things. He averages, when he's healthy, over 5 yards a carry, but he can't do this. Look at the guy pick his way through and explode.
Okay, that was good blocking out in front. They set up a little wedge, if you will, and he popped right through it, gets the first down, close to the 32-yard line. Kuchenberg out there. Newman was out there. That's the tight end, Dan Johnson. Been a very happy note for Don Shula in training camp, and Rod Martin takes David Overstreet.
And Ted Hendricks.
But Rod Martin's been doing it a long time. He's been voted defensive most valuable player. Raider teammates, and of course this year for the first time in 4 years, Ted Hendricks is not the defensive captain. His teammates chose Rod Martin as their defensive captain, so that shows the respect that they have of his play.
Rod Martin, been around a while. Raiders cut him, as a matter of fact, back in '77. Went to the 49ers. They cut him. Raiders picked him up again, and he's been a starter now for years. There was a loss of a yard So a second down and long for Woodley. Woodley timing pass for Nat Moore, and Nat Moore comes down with it. Working behind Lester Hayes, whom we told you earlier has a very sore ankle, but that was thrown beautifully by Woodley. He just laid it up and let Nat Moore run under it.
They say just lay it up about 2 yards from the sideline. It's a play you see a lot on the goal line. And it's really not much of a pattern. That's taking advantage of that one-on-one coverage. There is almost no way to defend this pass, especially if you get beat at the line like that.
And especially if it's that well thrown.
Hendricks on the rush. This time they pick him up pretty good, but he still is right in the face of David Woodley, as he is giving Roy Foster a lesson tonight. 40-yard line is the first down. Overstreet, and Overstreet finds another little gap. And now the Miami Dolphins are asserting themselves offensively.
They really are. As I said, all that time, the Raiders had the ball. They're going to rue the fact they didn't capitalize more than they did. Just one score. That
3:32 remaining in the first half. Raiders still on top, 7-0. A good defensive battle. It's kind of nice to see it. We've been watching a lot of people move up and down the football field in the 4 games that we've done in the past 2 weeks. We've got 2 tough defensive teams playing here tonight. Franklin breaks to the outside. He'll get the first down and much more as Franklin barrels inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. First down, Miami. McElroy again on the stop.
You saw a great all-pro, Bob Kuchenberg, come out and put a great block on another great all-pro, Ted Hendricks. This looked like the Green Bay sweep. Number 67 on the right side of your screen. You see him comes out and just takes Hendricks right out of the play. Beautiful block by a 15-year pro.
He really is. He's been around. He's been at the Pro Bowl as a guard and a tackle, and he still gets it done.
That was 13 years of NFL experience going up against one another. 30 years.
22-yard line. First down. The Dolphins trailing by 7. Inside 3 minutes as Franklin is pounded at the 20-yard line. He'll gain about a yard and a half.
That, of course, was Matt Millen, whom we've talked about, right in there, together with Martin. What a fast half. We're coming to the 2-minute warning.
Both teams with 3 timeouts. Franklin will move to the sideline, and we will not have another play before the 2-minute warning. And there it is. 2 minutes remaining to be played in the first half, in a half that really was all the Raiders in the early going, and now the situation is changing. The Dolphins taking control. We'll be back to see if they can get in. 20-yard line now of the Raiders. A second down and 8. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. The Dolphins have 3 timeouts. The sun slowly slinks out of sight over Santa Monica, I believe that is.
Yeah. Head for a wide.
Second down and 8. Big play on this drive. The pass, David Woodley to Nat Moore to pick up 21 yards. Franklin and Overstreet remain the setbacks for Miami. Whether Woody Bennett is in there now. Woodley looking for a receiver, and he fires, and Lester Hayes is there. It's Nat Moore who says that he was pushed out of bounds by Lester Hayes, which might have been the case, nevertheless ruled incomplete.
As you can see, Nat is coming back to the ball. Actually, Lester was in bounds when he kicked him out here.
He had reason to complain.
Oh, he looks like he got his toes down to me.
He didn't need his toes down if Hayes pushes him out.
That's correct. And Moore, you know, you can't ever second-guess Don Shula, but Moore was such a great receiver. I can understand his resentment when he was benched for Jimmy Cephala, who, of course, is a fine player and younger.
At a third down and 8, and a little bit of confusion on the part of the Dolphins. We move to the shotgun. Dwight Stevenson moves to guard. Dennard is the snapper. That one batted into the air, and a flag is down, and we could have another holding call against Miami. As Roy Foster, once again working against Ted Hendricks, was being put right back into the face. Actually, it was Foster against Townsend. And Townsend had taken Foster right back into the face of Woodley.
Let's look at that reception again that was called out of bounds.
He's clearly in the air when Lester Hayes. And as you say, it's immaterial if his toes got down or not. That looks like a good reception.
Fourth down.
Looked like they declined the penalty and forced them to go for the field goal.
That will bring out Uwe von Schamann. And von Schamann has had 6 consecutive field goals thus far this season. He is 11 straight going back to last year. 15 to 20 a year ago. John Scott, who signed his contract September the 5th, will do the holding on a 37-yard effort by von Schamann. And good decision on the part of the Raiders as von Schamann misses for the first time in 12 attempts.
That's a rare thing. You'll remember Uwe von Schamann's greatest field goal ever with just a couple of seconds left is Oklahoma, where he went beat Ohio State.
So it remains 7-0, and we'll be back with more action. But right now, this message from the National Football League. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Of course, the National Football League. The Raiders on top 7-0. They scored in the first quarter, a 3-yard touchdown by Hawkins. First down and 10. They move from their own 20-yard line, and this is Marcus Allen doing his thing as he ambles out for a first down near the 35-yard line.
Well on his way to 100 yards and more for the night. A remarkable ball player. Well, 66 yards already, Juice.
Yeah, they had some. They did an interesting thing. He was running the ball real well early in the game. They went right down the field. He coughed it up, and he didn't see the ball for almost a quarter, you know.
Raiders have called timeout. They have 2 remaining. Let's take a look at some action from first down and 10. Plunkett fires incomplete over the middle, looking out there to Cliff Branch. And it'll bring up third down and 10. Raiders stopping the clock with the incompletion with 1:30 remaining in the half. They have 2 timeouts remaining. The Dolphins have 3.
Actually, it's 2nd and 10. Marcus made a real nice run to play before that and got the first down. Here's where the Raiders really get something going now. They had 2 good drives. They should have had more than 7 points. They can go ahead at least 10-0. I think they'll feel comfortable coming out up 10-0. I guess anybody would, but the Raiders with their defense would feel particularly comfortable.
They go with 3 wide receivers. Calvin Muhammad is in there. 1 setback. Beaucamper spins off Plunkett. Plunkett gets it somehow to Christensen, and he gets the first down.
That was incredible.
At the 47-yard line. A great effort by Plunkett to get away from Beaucamper, and then a remarkable catch by Todd Christensen, literally in the arms of a Miami defender, and quickly the Raiders stop the clock with 1:15 remaining in the half. That's Beaucamper missing. And somehow Christensen came away with it. And he just continues to get better. They moved him, that tight end, 3 years ago, or 2 years ago rather, and he had a spectacular season a year ago. In the half, they have a 7-0 lead. The ball inside the 47-yard line of the Dolphins. Dolphins' only serious threat was a missed 37-yard field goal by von Schamann. Flag is down. That should go a hold against the Raiders. Usually when your quarterback is rambling around back there, the angles change for the blocking offensive linemen, and as they feel the pressure release, they can't help but grab. And it does work against the Raiders.
Got away from Beaucamper.
Illegal block. Number 79 of the offense. Still first down.
Time he got away from Beaucamper.
Illegal.
44-yard line. Loss all the way back. That's the time remaining in the half. On first down and 20, Plunkett back again. Screen to Marcus Allen with no man in front of it. He was just a checkoff man. It was not a set screen, but he gets back close to the 46-yard line where it will be down and again long for Plunkett.
They're going to have to get in close for Chris Barr. He doesn't register for distance, as we've told you.
Actually used to. He topped the AFC a couple of years, but he just doesn't have that distance anymore. There's Hayes.
Lester to molester.
What, did he have a year in 1980? Double-digit interceptions.
Lester had that speech impediment. He got better, and he stopped working on it, and he's almost back the way he was a couple of years ago.
Second down and 9. Christensen has the first down. Hook slides down close to the 30-yard line.
Now you viewers can understand while Plunkett may not be the most graceful quarterback in football, he makes the big plays.
Hurry-up offense for the Raiders. They have one timeout remaining. Inside 40 seconds remaining in the half. Plunkett and his intended receiver, Cliff Branch, slipped, and he was overthrown.
Notice they now have other receivers, though, during the course of a game that they go to more than Cliff Branch. Where Cliff was once the key receiver, that's no longer true.
Calvin Muhammad is in there, working with Malcolm Barnwell and Cliff Branch. All great speed. They have four wide receivers that all will make a great relay team because they've all run 9.400s. Cliff Branch having run a 9.300 earlier in his career. Second down and 9. Plunkett, Cliff Branch, first down inside the 15-yard line in the arms of William Judson. One timeout now remaining, and Plunkett will use it. And we could look for Plunkett to be very careful with it. He might try to go into the end zone, looking for the touch, but he'll be very careful to avoid the interception. They'd like to add to their 7 points. Beaucamper on the pressure. And Cliff Branch was there. Plunkett saw that he was covered, out of the end zone, incomplete. Going through Plunkett's head, though, I'm quite sure. He feels the pressure. He's going to get rid of it. Avoid the interception. Killing the clock. Just to make sure. Todd Christensen.
That Christensen's having some night, and so is that man, the quarterback, Jim Plunkett.
Somehow Christensen got single coverage with William Judson, and it was history. He was wide open, and Plunkett was right on target.
Let's take a look at it from the end zone. You look on the left side of your screen, you'll see Christensen. He looked like he just ran a banana pattern almost. You know, he just bowed out and bowed right over the middle, and Plunkett looked for him, his favorite receiver, and put the ball right on the money.
Dolphins have their work cut out for them.
You have to give Plunkett credit. In the preseason, not only was the press on his case, all his teammates were thinking that Mr. Wilson should have been the quarterback, and since the season started, I don't think I've ever seen him play 3 better games.
Here's Chris Barr.
And has he been having problems?
Chris Barr said earlier he's put the thrill back in the conversion. That could be a very significant missed conversion.
Certainly.
Instead of leading 14-0, we have a 13-0 lead with 9 seconds remaining in the first half. And there's Todd Christensen, we told you earlier. Came up a second-round pick with the Dallas Cowboys. They kept him around for quite a while. They had a bunch of good running backs. They let him go. The Giants took a look at the Brigham Young youngster. Raiders picked him up. They made a gradual conversion to a tight end, and he's one of the finest around now.
Certainly showing that he rates it.
He's having a terrific night.
9 seconds remaining in the half. Well, no one scored a whole lot of them. Raiders haven't scored a lot either. Dolphins have been strange. Their 2-0 record coming into this. They beat Buffalo 12-0. They had little or no offense. Woodley throwing for 26 yards. And then last Sunday, a week ago last Sunday, they beat New England with a tremendous offensive game, 34-24. So they've played 2 distinctly different games coming into the night. Chris Barr drills it along the ground to Fulton Walker. Really slapped at the 20-yard line, sprawls forward. Time for one play for the Dolphins. It would be tired, so I'd still be kicking if the passport control laws were a little stronger. On 1st and 10, a clock killer for the Miami Dolphins as Andre Franklin picks up 3 or 4 yards. Time expiring. And we have a 13-0 lead on the part of the Raiders over the Dolphins. Of course, we'll have our halftime highlights after this message and a word from our local station. Your first half hero, Todd. Fulton Walker is deep, awaiting the kick of the Raiders, Chris Barr. Walker, he'll bring this one out from 3 yards deep. And he's met right at the 15-yard line. Down he goes, hustling there for. It was is Derek Jensen and Dokie Williams getting down. Dokie Williams played his college football right here for UCLA.
All right, the first quarter stats, Gifford. As you can see, the rate is tough. The action now and Z. Gifford.
At the 15-yard line, the lineup remains the same for Miami. Woodley, the quarterback. Nathan, 22, under Franklin setbacks. Duriel Harris, 82. Nat Moore, 89. That's Moore in motion on first down. Franklin, right side. Ted Hendricks fights off the block of Bob Kuchenberg. Actually, Franklin did not help Kuchenberg. He got right up on the back side of Kuchenberg, and Hendricks just played it straight away.
Well, there's Hendricks when he was that's when he was a quarterback.
That's when he was a man.
Lyle Alzado, who originated from Brooklyn, went to East Rockaway and then to Yankton. And Alzado appears to be forever. He's playing like a man possessed as a Raider.
He was leading in sacks coming in tonight, now in his 13th year, Lyle Alzado. Former boxer who took on Muhammad Ali. I know you recall that, Howard. Something like that. Second down, 13. It was a loss of 3. Woodley fires complete, goes out into the flat, and he looks out there and finds Nat Moore, who looks to pick up short of the first down near the 23-yard line.
You know, you talk about Lyle.
Great at reclamation projects, Al Davis. Give him his due in that regard. Matuzak, maybe the best evidence of all. Yeah.
Third down, 4, shotgun for Miami. They're down 13-0. Opening moments of the third quarter. Woodley in and out of the hands of an ordinarily fine receiver. Joe Rose had a little speed on it, and Rose couldn't handle it. It'll be fourth down, and Miami will have to punt on their first possession. They bring in Reggie
Pass over and take advantage of Matt Millen and Bob Nelson's inability to cover in there.
He backed Pruitt all the way to the 20-yard line, and the ball hung up there for seemingly 4 or 5 seconds. Flag is down as Pruitt navigates his way back over the 30-yard line. That was a 58-yard punt by Reggie Roby.
He is huge.
He gets it down. He speeds it up a little bit. He had to hurry one a week ago and sliced off the side of his foot. He got 1 yard. He averaged 43 on the day.
Roby's a great draft choice. Kickers so important in the draft.
Yeah, it's funny, those kickers, when they miss a field goal or shank one of those punts.
Illegal block during the run back. Number 40 of the receivers. It's first and 10.
Rick Burke.
Draft choice was number 9. That place kicker, Ali Haji.
First down and 10 at the 20-yard line of the Raiders. Marcus Allen, and Allen somehow exploits a little bit of an opening for a big gain, a 7-yard pickup out near the 28-yard line.
You believe the way he got through there, Giff?
He does accelerate. I don't think, O.J., that he has, I don't want to put you on the spot, but he doesn't have that 9.3, 9.4 speed that you guys have had, but he does so much with what he has.
Yeah, and he's not that slow now. He just doesn't have the blazing speed, but his balance is what does it, and he has good eyes. He sees the whole field, and he reacts well.
Give him 8 yards as they mark it just inside the 29. It's second down and 2 for the Raiders. Kenny King hustling, and I think he'll be short of the first down as they're going to mark progress just over the 30-yard line. Third and 1. Marcus Allen, short yardage man, Frank Hawkins is in there. Allen, however, gets the number. He'll get the first down, and somebody gets a flag.
This is a big call on which way this goes.
That came in there like it even could have been a face mask. I didn't quite see all of the activities.
I say normally it's a holding, and it
Holding. Camper got back, no flag. And Plunkett would go down, sacked at the 10-yard line, and that'll bring up fourth down. And now Miami should have an opportunity from the end zone. Clayton for the Dolphins is up at his own 42-yard line.
I expect Clayton sooner or later to make a big play. He looks like he's going to be a super player to me.
Guy hits a beauty. Stays up there a long time. Clayton hesitated a moment, realized he had to go for the fair catch. Beautiful kick by Guy. 51 yards, but a good hang time. Clayton forced to make the fair catch without the return at the 38-yard line. But good field position for Miami. They trail 13-0. From the football to the Miami Dolphins. First and 10 at their own 38-yard line. Both teams undefeated into tonight's play. Woodley looks at the 3-4 of the Raider defense that can turn into most anything. And Woodley gets the ball out to Dan Johnson. His third reception in his NFL career. There'll be a gain of about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7.
As A.J. seems he never has a bad game. Just a question of achieving greatness and sustaining it with him. That was a dangerous throw. Do you know that with the coverage that was there, Giff?
It's sort of a slip-off on the part of Dan Johnson. Woodley hung it out there, and that pass could have been picked off.
I would try to look for more things quick over the middle or in those hooking zones to take advantage of Millen and Bob Nelson's lack of quickness.
2nd down 7 for the Dolphins. Play action by Woodley. Fires it complete. Going out to Duriel Harris, and Duriel Harris has the first down. He's inside the 43-yard line of the Raiders. Duriel Harris doesn't have that great speed, but one of the most fluid receivers you'll ever watch. There's the play action. Woodley trying to hold a linebacker, getting Harris behind him, and fires right in front of the corner man, Ted Watts. But he makes those great moves, and he has tremendous hands. And he has got to take up the slack this season for the Dolphins with the loss of Jimmy Cefalo and Tommy Vigorito. Both of them gone for the season. Injured in the opening game of the season. On first down, Franklin, left side, and Franklin pursued and taken by Bob Nelson right at the line of scrimmage. He might have got a yard.
He has less responsibility, and he's physical, and that's what the Raiders want.
Good point.
Woody Bennett now in the backfield, and the motion man is Mark Clayton. Clayton. That's a lateral. And Mark Clayton, the rookie out of Louisville, instantly realized that that could have been Clayton throwing the ball deep, because there was a deep man downfield, Duriel Harris. But you have to catch it before
Thing, or they knew what to do. I don't know if it's Woodley or what, but there's just some spark missing.
Close to the 45, so 3rd down 13. Shotgun for Woodley. Woodley trying to get out with a timing pass to Mark Clayton. Mike Davis coverage incomplete. 4th down. Miami will have to turn over once again.
Another dangerous throw, Frank, because
this time I presume he'll be looking for a corner or to kick it very high and get the coverage down under. He chooses the high route, and he has really put it up in the air. And bobble at the 10, but covered quickly. Greg Pruitt lost the ball at the 9. Recovers out over the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Raiders. They're deep in their own territory.
want the penalty.
From the 11-yard line on 1st and 10, Marcus Allen is surging ahead. A flag is down, as you can see. As Allen is surging behind that big offensive line. Gets out to the 15, but the Raiders once again called for holding. Coming in tight end for the Raiders, and here comes Kenny King. Trying to turn the corner. Didn't quite make it as one of the Blackwoods, Lyle, comes up, makes the defensive play.
But gives them a little bit of breathing room.
Well, you know, the Raiders are historically a highly penalized team. Generally, their penalties are more of the aggression type, you know, roughing the passer and stuff. Strangely enough, this year, the first 2 games against Cincinnati and Houston, both of those teams were penalized more than the Raiders.
Yeah, they penalized Cincinnati, everyone but Paul Brown on that one. They really had a tough time against the Raiders. The Raiders winning that game over Cincinnati 20-10. Kenny King got 6. It'll be 2nd down and 9. The ball just inside the 12-yard line. Here's Marcus Allen. We're stringing this one out. And Allen will get a couple of yards up close to the 40.
They'll throw and go for it.
Barnwell and Branch, the speedsters, bottom of your screen. Branch is in the slot.
Well, when you
the first, and now the Raiders must punt.
You like my call, Sweets? Oh, I just saw her shake her head.
And Mark Clayton, the 8th-round draft pick out of Louisville, is back at the 40-yard line of Miami. If you look at it wide, wide because the Dolphins came close to getting the guy the last time. And they came close once again, and Guy drills another beauty. It takes Clayton back to the 28. Here he comes.
Ooh, what a hit.
And he's at the 35-yard line. First man there, Otis McKinney once again. So Miami, as the game has turned into a defensive battle, will have a 1st and 10. The ball near their own 35-yard line. 45 effort. Guy. He remains the quarterback. Not Shula necessarily make a change or decide to make a change. We think it would be Marino. Maybe under pressure. Great athletic ability. And he's going to get yardage when he could well have been sacked. 4-yard pickup by Woodley under deep pressure. We're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
This is WABC TV, New York.
That's the extra dimension you get with a David Woodley, where Don Rock, the quarterback at that point, or Dan Marino, probably, they, in all probability, would have been sacked.
And that's
but Woodley, with a good athletic skill that he has, got out of there and made 4 yards out of it.
And that's where Plunkett isn't given enough credit for. The difference in this game tonight is Plunkett's been able to avoid the rush and get the balls off successfully, where Woodley's been forced to run when he scrambles.
2nd down and 6. The ball resting just over the 40-yard line. Woody Bennett piling into the left side, getting a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down. A long 3 now for the Dolphins.
Can't kick about this game because these are two tough, solid football teams. And while there has not been any spectacular scoring, the big plays have been made by the Raiders. And somehow they put a team together, the Silver and Black does, every year that is always up there. Richly competitive and very tough.
3rd down. Again, a long 3. Close to the 4, in fact. The ball just at the 42-yard line of the Dolphins. Out of the shotgun. Woodley again under pressure, going to Rose. And Joe Rose, the tight end they go to in the must-pass situation, gets the 1st down inside the 40-yard line of the Raiders. And a very cool effort on the part of David Woodley. Good completion, good combination. Woodley and Rose, 1st down 10. David Overstreet up in pickup of about 1.
Well, on that last replay, you saw something that the Raiders have been doing very successfully this year. There's their leader on defense, their defensive captain, Martin. Even when they don't get the sack, they're hitting the quarterback. And even though the quarterback gets the ball off, if you hit him enough times, you're going to force him to rush the ball a few times.
Which is why the Juice never tried to play quarterback.
It's my arm, Howard.
Big blitz down now for the Raiders, although they have their 4 down linemen in. Now they stay with their 3-4. 2nd down long, 2nd down and 9. Woodley has the time and drops it off Overstreet with a juggling act, and he couldn't come up with it. It'll be 3rd down and 9. 9. Miami from the tee, not the shotgun. That's Rose in motion. Bootleg by Woodley.
Good call.
And Woodley has the 1st down up in and inside the 25-yard line. This time the bootleg working.
Great call.
Everyone going with the flow of the backfield to the left, and Woodley coming out with a blocker in front of him. It was Foster. Miami still has not been able to get on the scoreboard. They trail 13-0. Late minutes of the 3rd quarter as we watch David Overstreet. Rod Martin defensively again, but Overstreet gets inside the 20 for a pickup of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
I think he's in the game because they need one of those flashes.
2nd and 5, and Franklin is nailed. Hit hard. Reggie Kinlaw, nose tackle, playing off Dwight Stevenson. Big play on the part of Reggie Kinlaw.
I don't think Shula feels right now that this team can move the ball consistently and get it in.
3rd down and 6. There was a loss of 2. Shotgun. And down goes Woodley. Gave up the football. Rod Martin on the blitz. The play still moving.
Goodbye.
And Greg Townsend, a rookie from TCU, picks up the fumble. Down the field he goes, but credit that. Certainly, Mr. Rod Martin fought through a block, got to Woodley, knocked the ball loose. 64-yard touchdown for the Raiders.
This is one tough football team. And we've told you all night about Rob Martin.
Probably their best linebacker. He's been voted the captain by the team. He's been voted MVP of the defense 2 of the last 4 years. He stripped the ball. Mr. Townsend, who deserves this touchdown. Look at him run. This is the defensive lineman you're looking at. Watch Rod Martin behind him if you can see him. He made one great block for him, even though it was unnecessary. It was behind the runner.
We also told you about Townsend and Pickell. 2 rookies making it big.
A startling development. The Raiders already on top, 13-0. 64-yard fumble return. Great effort by Rod Martin and Greg Townsend. Chris Barr. This time he hammers it through. And the Raiders have a 20-0 lead. 1:12 remaining in the third quarter. And the rookie, Greg Townsend from TCU, gets his first professional touchdown. And a great assist to Rod Martin, who's been all over the field tonight. But you're going to be hearing the name Townsend for many years to come, we have a feeling. There's Fulton Walker. Chris Barr puts it up high. Walker will have an opportunity from the 1-yard line. And the best he can do is get it back to the 15, as the Raiders are really steamed up now. College football, 12 o'clock Eastern time this Saturday right here on ABC. West Virginia against Boston College. Illinois against Michigan State. Michigan State with that upset victory over Notre Dame on Saturday. Texas Tech against Baylor. Well, perhaps you're right. First down and 10, 15-yard line. Miami. Overstreet on the screen, and Overstreet carries a Raider, Archie Reese, for yardage up close to the 20-yard line.
I said that, Frank, because you know who's coaching the Spartans, George Perlis, who through the years was so valuable to Chuck Noll. He's going to be a great coach, head coach.
He was the one that went to the USFL for about 5 minutes and went on to Michigan State. He was a coach. That is, obviously.
Big Lyle Alzado. Feeling like a kid again.
Overstreet got 5. His second down and 5. The ball at the 20-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. Running out here in the third quarter. Time running out of the Dolphins as Woodley puts it down, takes off, and I tell you, he went down, I think, maybe short of the first down.
He did.
Hendricks was looming awfully large in front of him, but I think he could have squeezed out another foot.
Well, when Hendricks loom out in front of you,
he might have got it, but if he did it by inches.
You go down.
Feel that smoke coming out of those nostrils. That'll put you into hook slide really quickly. That's good judgment on the part of David. The Miami Dolphins. Teams now will change ends of the field, and we'll return for fourth quarter action to this word from our local stations. In a passing situation, and such is the case at the moment, with the Dolphins down 20-0 as we begin the fourth quarter. They come out of the ground. They blitz everyone except head coach Tom Flores, and they know that Woodley has got to put the ball in the air. And fired, incomplete. Intended there for Durrell Harris.
Right into Lester Hayes' hands, but his vision was intercepted by the would-be receiver. Otherwise, bang.
Sometimes the Raiders give the appearance of being a little bit disorganized on defense, but they know what they're doing. They really turn Ted Hendricks loose in a lot of situations. It puts a big burden on Matt Miller and Bob Nelson. They have to play totally run, while Rod Martin has to be flexible, take up the slack. And they do shoot Hendricks. That's Hendricks top of your screen. He's coming. Second down and 10. And Hendricks got there late, but he really pounded Woodley. Complete. We could have a pass interference call. Flag is down. Matt Moore dueling Ted Watts, and Nat Moore is saying, I didn't do it. They're pointing the finger at Nat Moore.
Well, the ball was underthrown again, and Nat had to try to do something.
There's another flag down at the line of scrimmage.
I was surprised to see Willie get up that time. He was really tagged by Big Howie Long. I mean, he just lowered the boom on him.
And they've sorted out. Here's Red Cashin.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 89 on the defense. Pass interference by the offense. Offset for a replay, second down.
Well, we don't have an 89, so apparently the official picked up the wrong number. This is Woodley. He really gets hammered. Howie Long catches him right in the back. Here's Nat Moore.
Well, if he called it on 89, he called it on Nat Moore.
Well, they called it on the Raiders 89, and they don't have one. In any event, we have a second down and 10, the ball at the 25-yard line. Early moments of the fourth quarter from Los Angeles. Dolphins will go from the shotgun. Raiders showing blitz, out of it. Pressuring Woodley once again, and he throws high and incomplete to Mark Clayton. But each time they penetrate the offensive line of the Dolphins, and Woodley perhaps doing the best he can under a lot of pressure.
All right, we have previously shown you the Raiders' domination during the first half, mitigated in the second quarter. They had totally dominated in the first quarter. Then in the third quarter, by now, Miami led in time of possession, and the Miami figures in total yards were far more favorable. But the big plays were made by the Raiders, and especially the Nelson hit on Woodley, the fumble, and the Townsend run for the touchdown.
Third down and 10, again from the shotgun for Miami. And again, Woodley pressure. Phil Pickell, the rookie from Rutgers. He got a lot of help from his friends.
But he's the other one we told you about, Pickell and Townsend.
Yeah, you really can't get on David Willie's too heavy. As you can see him, they got tricks going up here. You see Pickell, he's swinging around Big Howie Long. Lyle Alzado came in, took off all the blocking away, and he just came around clean.
No one does it better than the Raiders. I mean, they move those men around, but they know where they're going to be.
And they got so much depth. Their frontline guys, Archie Reese, Pickell, and Townsend are backup linemen. No team had that much depth on the defensive line.
There's a man back in 73 and 74, Greg Pruitt, and he was rushing for 1,000 yards and more for Cleveland. Was also returning punts spectacularly well. Great by Roby. Pruitt all the way back to his 25. He had lined up near the 40. And Pruitt, nice return, back out over the 30 to the 33. Thomas defensively there for the Dolphins on a 62-yard effort by Roby. And a big night for the Raiders. They're looking to go 3-0 with a win over the Dolphins. They lead 20-0 here in the fourth quarter. Marcus Allen on a 1st and 10 outside and gets another first down close to midfield. And meanwhile on the sidelines, the Dolphins are warming up their rookie first-round draft pick Dan Marino from Pittsburgh.
He may not be that excited about getting in.
I wouldn't think so.
Say, hey, coach, don't you think you got another game better suited for my talent?
I wouldn't want to face that charging bunch of Raiders.
If he puts him in, I think he'll also.
Hendricks.
If he puts him in, I'm sure Don Shula will have him on the ground.
The machine, Frank, the machine-type product that Schuler and Ansbarger produce, you rarely see them dominated the way they've been dominated by the Raiders. Just shut down.
Allen got the first down at the 49. The former high school quarterback will also throw it. And if he could have got away from one Dolphin, he would have got a lot of yardage. But Charles Bowser playing there, and you might notice all the Dolphins helmets, they are wearing a black number 50. That's in tribute to their teammate Larry Gordon, whom we mentioned early in the telecast, died tragically of a heart attack last spring.
In that sad vein, may I mention that the Raider general partner Ed McGaw passed away Saturday night at Cedars of Lebanon, Mount Sinai Medical Center, out of coronary. He was the original general partner of the Raiders, with them through all of the years, back since 1960.
Second down and 18. Kenny King finds a big hole left side, gets the first down. Miami territory near the 43-yard line.
That was one of the all-time stutter steps. Watch this run. This is one of the all-time steps. He's running a draw, just picks his way, and that's because his linemen are just staying with their guys. Look at Marcus Allen. They're just blocking their guys, holding their blocks, and letting their runner pick his hole.
Third down now and 7. Ball marked just inside the 48-yard line. Little confusion there. Todd Christensen wasn't quite sure what Plunkett had in mind, so Plunkett, rather than waste an effort, come up with an error, he calls timeout. One losing season throughout all those years.
That's a good thing he hasn't played the Raiders more often.
Third down and 7. Raiders on the move. Marcus Allen. Great acceleration. Somebody tried to go in there for the football. He tucked it away and gets the first down at the 38-yard line. Mark Brown finally bringing him down for Miami. Watch how he hides this ball now, O.J. Somebody makes a grab for it.
Well, Marcus has been accused of fumbling the ball a little bit. He makes a great run here, so I'm sure in practice the backfield coach has been emphasizing, put the ball away, put the ball away. But you know, it's funny how you dominate a team. The L.A. Raiders, that's 5 times. The L.A. Raiders seem to dominate Miami here, 12-3 overall, and some coaches just have other coaches or players' numbers. Miami dominated our teams in Buffalo. We beat them once in 9 years.
Marcus now at his 3 yards for 100. Plunkett, Christensen, and Christensen up close to another first down, perhaps a yard short as Glenn Blackwood makes the stop for Miami.
You have to be impressed with this Raiders team. Not only are they tough, not only are they driving a very good Miami defensive line into the ground, but they've got play variety. And the performance of Plunkett tonight is one of the better performances, I think you'll agree, Frank, we've seen him have in recent years.
Actually, he had a pretty good year last year. The Raiders 8-1. No one was any better than that. And they just lost in the playoffs to a superb effort on the part of the Jets. Second down and 1. That's Greg Pruitt in there now, giving Marcus Allen a little breather, and Doug Betters makes the stop.
Well, I tell you, during my career, the one coach that I wish I could have had an opportunity to play for was Don Shula. But the one organization as a player I respected was the Raiders. One, they're probably the highest payroll in the league. And they say you get what you pay for. And 2, if you look at their staff, they seem to take care of their players. They have 7 former Oakland Raiders working for them as either coaches or scouts. And that's unusual for an organization to take care of their former players like that.
Third down and 2. Hawkins going over the left side, looking for the first down.
I think his knee touched earlier. Depends on where it's marked, and I think the official has it cased.
Well, if his knee touch, it doesn't matter. Somebody has to touch him in
Somebody
the
did.
NFL.
Yeah, and you've got a 20-0 lead. If they don't make it, Tom Flores must be considering definitely the possibility of going for it.
Well, if they make it, Don is going to be doing his do-re-mis wherever he is.
Of course he's going to go for it. We're down to close to 9 minutes left. The clock is killing any faint vestige of Miami hope.
I think they're short, but they're going to bring the sticks out, so it'll give a chance for Tom Flores to communicate with Jim Plunkett. He's already done so. I think they're going to go for it.
But Miami's system just isn't conducive to coming back.
No, I agree.
A lot of scores, you know. They normally rely on their defense to keep the game close, and they feel the offense can score at any time if they're within a touchdown. But the way their offense is set up is not set up to come back from three scores against a team like the Oakland L.A. Raiders. I go to San Francisco. You know, I was a 49er fan with the Oakland Raiders for so many years. I'm having trouble getting that.
Everyone does it, Jizz. Inches to go. 9:09 remaining in the game. Clock moving. Dolphins in deep trouble. And the Raiders looking very strong now, both offensively and defensively. They only had the 1 sag in the second quarter. Now they'll get it easily on the offside. Hawkins had it on the carry, and it looked as though Miami was offside.
Yeah, I don't think that was induced. Right.
So the drive will continue. It began back at the 37-yard line. Greg Pruitt on the return.
Well, there's still a lot of time.
Number 58 on the defense. First down.
You just don't drive Miami into the ground like this. You just don't.
Well, I wouldn't worry about Miami.
Be pretty close in this game. It was the sack on Woodley by Martin. Townsend on the return. That was the one that put it totally out of reach.
Despite LA's dominance here, I still think Miami is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL. Right?
Without question.
At the 24-yard line, Hawkins, left side, gets about 4 down inside the 20 near the 19. Or Bocamper made the stop for Miami.
Tell you, I think his back juice is one of the better teams in the league, the Niners.
Yeah, I think without a doubt. You know, they had a tough year last year. Their offense, Joe Montana's clicking. Well, he clicked last year. I think Bill Washington's a little more comfortable now. And with the defensive secondary playing the way they're playing up there, the defensive line is giving them a rush. They look like they could be just as tough as they were 2 years ago.
Cowboys looking awfully good.
Always.
They're 3-0 after their win yesterday over the Giants. That's Marcus Allen.
Most disappointing team in the league, Giff, has to be the Jets.
We knew you'd get to that sooner or later. I thought you lived in New York.
What is it with you and the Jets?
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty hard to lose with their personnel, but they're finding a way.
Yes, I heard a guy intimate that maybe they didn't have the talent yesterday. Well, that's everybody who knows football knows
exactly.
that they do have talent. You know, I think the problem may be they have some minor injuries on that defensive line, and they're just not playing the type of ball that they played a year ago. But overall, they have the talent there. They're just not playing up to it.
Raiders working on the clock. They have a 3rd down and 5. Marcus Allen. He'll be short of the first down, and again, it'll be about a yard to go for the first down, and it could be in this situation with a 20-0 lead. Chris Barr will come in for the field goal attempt. Nope, we have the 3rd tight end coming in. So the Raiders on 4th down will go once again.
Interesting.
Well, when you're dominating up front the way they're doing, I think what's more important is just to keep the ball and let that clock run, and I think that's what Mr. Flores is thinking.
Well, there must be quite a temptation at this point. Play action, find the man in the end zone.
Or just not snap the ball.
Lead, you can't get hurt.
What if you don't snap the ball? Let them jump. 5 more yards on the field goal, no big deal.
And it's Hawkins over the left side.
And running it is no big deal either tonight for the Raiders.
Big lineman, big offensive lineman just surging out. The Dolphins really are not that big. They play great technical defense under Arnsparger. Their deal is not to give up the big play, stay in the ball game, look for the break, and then win it.
Yeah, well, the Raiders management sort of said that they felt that the type of player they look for, the big guy, you know, they got these 280 and 270-pound tackles, were just the right type of guys to play against the type of individual that Shula likes. If you look at Shula's interior line, they all change positions. You look at their linemen, some of them were linebackers in the past. They're not overly big guys, and it's just a matter of matchups.
Throwing out exactly what you say. You remember what the big ones did on Washington.
12-play drive started at the Raiders' own 36. Marcus Allen now well over 100 yards inside the 10-yard line. Gain of 4. Baumauer sliding out for the nose tackle to make the stop.
Here's where a guy like Marcus Allen is real valuable to a team. When you got a lead, you want to protect the lead, you put it on the ground. He's the kind of back that he's better on the 4th carry than he is on the 1st carry. He likes to carry the ball a lot. He likes a lot of work.
He was that right on this field for SC. I used to watch him. He'd carry the ball 25 times, and each time he appeared to get stronger.
You're exactly right, Juice. I thought John Madden made a very interesting point in a CBS telecast yesterday. He was talking about Mark Van Eegen. He said the great backs get better with increased fatigue.
Kenny King, and this time Kenny King is taken there by Ken Bocamper.
Kenny got a little vocal. I guess they pulled his face mask, and if
Flag
the official didn't call it, he was telling everybody on the field.
We've got it. Flag is down, and they pick it up.
Well, how do you feel about that as a former player? John said that Van Egan would be better on the 10th carry or the 15th carry than he was on the 1st, the 2nd, or the 3rd.
I think all the great ones have been that way. Look at Jim Brown. You hammer him all day long. You'd hold him down as we would sometimes 40 or 50 yards. In the 4th quarter, he'd rip off about 80 or 100.
Face mask by the defense. First down.
First down, goal to go. The Raiders on a roll that began at their 37-yard line. They've used up nearly 9 minutes on this drive. Greg Pruitt and the former Cleveland Brown into the end zone over the left side.
I think I better leave that for Don.
Good to see this man back, Greg Pruitt. He had those great seasons, 73, 74, 75, over 1,000 yards with the Cleveland Browns. Tore up his knee in 78. Raiders got him a couple of years ago, and they have just sort of nurtured him back to good health. His legs are fine now, and he's running once again. There's a little man who could cover the 100-yard dash. We saw him in the Superstars do it 9.6.
Yeah, he's running well. Last week, ran the ball a few times. He averaged probably close to 7 yards a carry, and
Chris Barr
made one.
Chris Barr made another one. And the Raiders are stretching it out. They have a 27-0 lead. And we understand, Don. I wonder if Dottie will. Cornerback for the Dolphins, slow getting up after that conversion. He's off the field now. Chris Barr sets a kickoff, and Fulton is back. Raiders had one sag tonight, a little while in the 2nd quarter. Otherwise, they have dominated. Bolton Walker drifts to the corner and takes it at the 3.
Whoa.
Big opening for Walker, and Walker gets out close to the 35-yard line, and we are going to see a new quarterback. It is Dan Marino coming in, the rookie first-round draft pick, record-setting quarterback for Pittsburgh, and we'll see him when we come back. Took Pittsburgh to 4 bowls in the 4 years he was playing there. All-time passing leader for Pittsburgh. He's in a situation at the moment, down 27 points. The Raiders thinking pass all the way, and Marino successful in his first attempt, going out to Mark Duper. We're going to see some of the newer players, I think, now for both ball clubs, and that's not necessarily good for Marino's. OJ was pointing out during the commercial, we're going to see Townsend and Piquel probably a lot for the Raiders on defense, and they are fine rookie linemen that can really pressure a quarterback.
But you just saw Don Shula on the sidelines. It's one of the reasons you've got to respect him. Indomitability is chiseled into his face. He never quits. He's down 27 points. He's running his team. Keep discipline. Keep your poise.
Gain of 9 by Duper, and we'll have a first down. Woody Bennett over the left side, getting up to about to the 49-yard line.
On the other side of the coin, there is Tom Flores. Repeatedly through the years, Frank, Dandy, OJ wasn't with us then, and I have talked about Tom Flores and how he labors in the shadows of the heralded Al Davis, heralded in the football sense. And I'll say this, Al has never taken credit away from Flores. He is quite a man, rich in character.
Marino back on first down. Rifle arm, and he fires it out. The ball is not handled by Clayton. A little different velocity on that ball as compared to Woodley's.
You know, I had the opportunity to play with Tom Flores a few games in my rookie year in Buffalo, and my 3rd year in Buffalo, our head coach at the time quit the day we arrived at camp, and they called Tom Flores in to take over the offense. So I've had the opportunity to deal with him on both sides of the, on the field as well as with him on the sideline, and he's a good man. He knows the game of football, and he treats his players well, and they all respect him and know what he gives to this team and organization.
Marino talking it over and looking over a 2nd down and 10. And drop pass, this time Overstreet. That's twice Overstreet has taken his eyes off the ball before it got there.
Yeah, and a little of that is intimidation. That's why the Raiders they emphasize intimidation. They do it when you do catch a pass on them. If you get a pass off on them, this 1983 Raider team, you're going to pay for it. And later on in the game, they look for teams to either miss wide open receivers or wide open receivers to block the drop passes.
It's part of the game, just that you won't be around here too long if you're intimidated too often.
You never were. If you could survive Bednarik's hit and come back.
Ought to hit him a little harder. You'd never heard of him again. On 3rd and 10, Marino.
Yeah.
3 drop passes in a row, 2 of them by this man, Clayton, and Marino said, hey guys, I can't catch it for you.
I think he can be intimidated. I was intimidated once, Frank.
Tell me.
Dick Butkus.
Oh, wow.
Wherever I was on the field, I was.
Now we're talking about
51.
something different now.
51.
Yep.
He was. Tell you the time I saw him.
Oh, you're about to miss, Howard. I think I just about had him miss.
I saw him make a sack. The quarterback got rid of the ball. Forget whether it was Fran or not, playing for the Giants. He completed the pass. Butkus got up, pursued the receiver, stripped the ball, and returned it to the same point where he'd made the almost sack.
Hey, when I first walked on the field with him, he told me he's going to kick me where the sun don't shine, and I respected him ever since.
Screen on 4th down. This is Tony Nathan. And Tony Nathan gets the first down. He gets up to the 40-yard line.
Hi, George, he made it.
And we're going to have a personal foul against the Raiders.
I guess they're trying to get him set up for the next time they played him. You know.
There's David Woodley, and you can see this has not been a happy occasion for him.
I think it's unfair to say he had a bad game. Well, he had a bad game, but look what he was up against the whole game. Even when he got passes off, he got tagged this game.
Yeah, but that was Marino. He's got a taste of it.
Roughing the passer, number 93 of the defense. Get it on to the end of the play. First down.
Greg Townsend fitting right into the Raiders' defensive scheme of things. Returning a fumble, 64 yards for a touchdown. Roughing the passer, getting the passer's attention, if you will.
Couple of sacks.
First down for the Dolphins, who are trying to get the goose egg off the scoreboard at the 25-yard line of the Raiders. Marino has the good pass called, and he gets the ball to Joe Rose, and Joe Rose kills the clock, getting out of bounds inside the 16. 3:57 remaining in the game.
That's the ticket.
It's so easy now. You wonder why they couldn't do it all again. Obviously, the Raiders aren't playing with the intensity that they played with earlier, but we saw 3 drop balls, all medium passes, and we wondered throughout the game why they didn't try to throw more intermediate passes. I guess they tried, but the Raiders' defensive line was putting a lot of heat on them.
Second down, short yardage. Good down for Marino if he wants to get into the end zone with it. Overstreet. That's good running. David Overstreet gliding, making the cut, accelerating, and he gets the first down. He's inside the 10, close to the 7. Drafted him, number 1 in 81, and they're glad to have him back. Timing pattern and almost picked off Jim Davis, who picked one off earlier to set up a Raider touchdown just before the half was there.
As you can see, it's just enough. It's one of those patterns they completed earlier than that more. Going down the sideline, the passes, they just get the ball up. If the cornerback is...
Second down, goal to go. Ball right at the 7-yard line. Marino throws into a crowd short of the end zone, and Nathan comes out of the pack with it. 11 inside the 2-yard line. And Marino, he's big. He's 6'3", 214-pounder. Overstreet in a whole lot of trouble. To the 6-yard line. The first man there was Kenny Hill. He got a lot of help.
I don't envy David Woodley, Frank, as we look at the great coach about to suffer an embarrassing defeat. I don't envy Woodley because he's got to know that Shula is so high on Marino, and in the long run, Marino and not Woodley is his quarterback of the future. It's a very
talented, but a young kid.
4th down, and Raiders are looking for the shutout. What's remaining of the crowd is shouting defense. Marino, diving catch. Joe Rose. A flag is down, however.
What a great throw, though.
What a great catch by Joe Rose. That ball went through a couple of pair of hands. I'm sure he didn't see it until it cleared at the last minute. Made a real nice stabbing
That's going
catch.
to go against the Raiders.
It appears so.
Let's hope so.
Pass interference. Number 45 on the defense. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Yeah,
Jim Davis, a great diving catch on a timing pass from Dan Marino, who was also under pressure, showing a lot of cool. That was a great catch.
It was.
Concentration.
But Marino was being blitzed, and he held together and threw a fine ball. And did you see Shula? It's as if he was back in the game.
Hey, Marino has not thrown a bad ball yet. Von Schaman for the conversion as the Dolphins are off the schneid. (27-7). And Joe Rose, the receiving tight end, if you will, worked last year with Bruce Hardy and Ronnie Lee. Ronnie Lee is now gone. Getting a little breather. But all the receiver types are up right around midfield, expecting the onside from Von Schaman with 2:29 remaining in the game. And they get it, and I think they might get it back.
Don't you love the way the team that wants... Well, they got it.
It bounced right off a Raider. I think it was Gary Benson. Now, he's a tight end. He should have handled that easily. It popped right out of his chest, and the Dolphins were there. Marino has the ball back once again.
And the birds of Baltimore keep flying. And
1-yard line. The Miami Dolphins out of the shotgun. The game, of course, out of reach. Don Shula taking a long look at his rookie quarterback, Dan Marino. Sends Tony Nathan over the left side. Nathan will get about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Shula will play this to the end.
It's important for his team to keep playing now because they may find themselves in this situation with a game on the line.
Marino again right on target, and again it's Joe Rose. We'll get the 2-minute warning. Marino has connected with Joe Rose. A 1st down for Miami inside the 42-yard line. We have 2 minutes remaining in the game, and we'll be back at the Coliseum in a moment. Dolphins looking for more respectability. Trailing 27-7. They got the onside kick, and Dan Marino. That was a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line of the Raiders. He's back once again. Looking deep. And almost picked off by Jim Davis. Mark Duper, a speedster out of Northwest State, Louisiana, in the corner of the end zone.
See the end of the play on the ISO. I'm going to tell you something. This Jim Davis is turning out to be a ball player. He's
had a
made
good
some
evening,
real nice plays tonight. Going to put a little heat on Mr. Watts. As Ted Watts has been burnt at least once every week, it seems, but he's a good cornerback. He just hasn't been able to judge when the ball arrives. He's one of these guys that covers his man with his back to the quarterback.
It's pretty difficult if you're a cornerback by profession. That makes a problem.
Yeah, but normally these guys can read the receiver and tell when the ball arrives and make the play. He has a little difficulty doing that. But he's a fine corner.
2nd down and 10 from the shotgun again. Dolphins pick up the blitz, and Marino's on target, hitting Tony Nathan. Nathan up there for 1st down yardage. Give us an opportunity to tell you this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. The 1st down at the 31-yard line. No huddle for the Dolphins. Marino back, dumps it over the middle, and it goes to David Overstreet. That's how you fumble it, carrying it out like that.
It's easy to say it now. You know, we realize the game isn't being played as intensely as it was earlier, but you wonder why they weren't throwing that little dump pass a few more times. Obviously, some of their better players aren't in the game now. You don't see Millen or Bob Nelson in the middle. And the
2nd down and 3, and Joe Rose gets the 1st down inside the 15, and the Dolphins continue to move.
Nonetheless, they're not playing against statues, and you have to be impressed with young Marino.
Great practice for young Marino, too. He's playing like this game, the final hurry-up part of the game, with their 2-minute offensive drill, as though he could pull this out. And they know they're not going to. They're inside 1 minute, of course. He's 9 of 14. There 4 of them have been dropped for 77 yards. He fires another one in to Mark Duper, who makes a very tough catch on that angle. That ball was really humming. And Marino calls timeout.
Shula is so great a coach, Frank, that he excels even when losing, and he's proving tonight.
Dan Marino has come on late, and as we have said many times, while he's working against the irregulars, if you will, of the Raiders' defense, he has performed well. He has thrown the ball in excellent fashion. And he gets another one off to avoid the sack. David Overstreet was all alone in the end zone, but Marino was really hammered. Howie Long, who remains in there as one of the starters, was right in Marino's face, and he knocked him to the turf here at the Coliseum. I guess he's thinking, well, my youngster's getting the work that he needs. 25 seconds now remaining in the game. We'll see Miami again on November the 28th against Cincinnati, and then on December the 16th against the New York Jets. Second down goal to go. Times one out, and a flag is down. Duper was working against Davis, and I think Davis has drawn another interference call.
You're right.
And so Dan Marino,
all right,
gets the Dolphins into the end zone now for a second
Pass interference. Number 45 on the defense. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Take a look at the ISO. He has one check. He checks him there one time, and I don't see the infraction.
I didn't either. Might have called it the other way. Might have been.
Well, it's certainly academic because the Dolphins hang up the points. Ron Shaman for the conversion. We'll see another onside kick with 20 seconds remaining.
You're right.
Ron Shaman drills it through the uprights.
Another onside kick.
Mark Duper, a lot of speed, 5'9", 193-pounder. Made his first couple of receptions of the season here tonight. We'll see the Raiders twice more this year. We'll see them Sunday, October the 23rd at Dallas. The Raiders and Dallas now are the only two undefeated teams remaining in the NFL. And the Raiders have all their sure-handed types up near midfield. The ball has to travel 10 yards before Miami can recover, unless it's touched by a Raider. This time the Raiders collected 44-yard line, falling on the football. The tight end recently acquired from New England, Don Hasselbeck. Another 5-second pause for our stations to identify themselves.
This is WABC TV, New York.
They beat Houston last Sunday, and they have taken the Miami Dolphins. Raiders picking up where they left off a year ago when they had an 8-1 season in the strike abbreviated season. And that will be it. Dan Marino showing a lot of promise tonight. And for Tom Flores, victory number 3 of this young season. And for Don Shula, back to the drawing board. And of course, Don Shula is thinking only now of Kansas City next Sunday. We'll be right back.